Welcome in, folks, to Out of Your Falcon Mind. My name is John, back again with another video here in the free agent series that we're doing. This is kind of free agent and kind of not, because we do have a couple of guys here for the quarterback options that are not free agents, but they are options for the Falcons moving forward in 2024. So we will do that. First of all, if you're new to the channel, man, welcome in. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the shows we put out, live shows every Thursday during the off season. During the season, you can catch us twice a week on Thursday, normally previewing the upcoming game, and then either Sunday after the game or Monday evening we'll be recapping the game. So, and then of course we sometimes will drop shows if there's new news about the team or anything drops that's crazy or whatever. We may drop a live show as well. And during the off season, we're going to be putting out videos like this. Of course, some draft profiles, whatnot. So just keep your eyes on the channel. If it's, like I said, if it's first time here or if you're returning, man, we appreciate you guys for coming back and watching. If you could like the video, subscribe to the channel. We much appreciate it. Just keep us growing, man. We're almost at 1,500 subscribers, which is awesome for us, man. And we're shooting for like 100 likes on every video, just as a minimum, because those likes help us get out there to more Falcons fans. So tonight on the show, I have somebody helping me out because he's a great friend of ours. Been on the show several times. If you have watched the show before, and he does write for the Vikings and all, so I thought it might be a pretty good idea to have him on. Since there's a guy named Kirk Cousins who's been pretty, out there as far as possibly coming to the Falcons. So, Mr. Saivion Mixson, buddy, how's it going, dude?
What's good? What's good, John? Oh, it feels so good to be back, man.
It's weird because it's your first time not doing a live, isn't it? It's the first time us
This is
ever
my first time
recording a
not doing it
video.
live. Yeah, we're just recording.
We're just chatting it up. Yeah, no chat or comments to me. That's great because I can stay focused. Because the chat is. I mean, I love the chat. Don't get me wrong, but man, when I've got that going on, I got Mike talking some crazy shit I got to keep up with, and then
It is
trying to keep
crazy.
the show
All
on
of it.
track. I mean, it challenges me, man. It challenges every bit of every bit of me that I have to keep everything on track. But it's all good. But y'all stay tuned in the video. Mike will have a little bit of an input on his QB situation here as well.
The ideal QB situation if you're a Falcons fan.
And if you know Mike at all, if you watch the show at all, this should not surprise you one bit. That's all I'm going to say about it. All right. So, as I mentioned, Saivion is a writer for the Vikings Wire and has been for all of last season, right? Pretty much all of last season you covered him.
Yeah, the entirety of last season. I got on in July 1st. That was my first one. And so ever since then, I've been doing 30 a month, 30 articles a month for them. So please go and check it out. If you start looking at stuff, that means that I can start getting, other things to do besides writing about the Vikings. I would love to come back and write about the Falcons every now and again, but I don't have time right now.
Exactly. So go help the man out, God damn it. But as y'all know, well, if you don't know, Saivion is a huge Falcons fan because that's how we met. We started doing. He was, I guess you're still on the Millennium Falcons podcast, right? Whenever y'all.
Yep.
Yeah, still on that. I mean, we did last year. We live streamed the draft with Saivion and all the guys. We're going to do that again this year, without a doubt. That's happening. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that because we will live stream the first round of the draft. So, all right, let's get on the quarterbacks. But we're going to try to keep this. This is going to be a little bit longer than the previous two videos. Number one, because the quarterback position for us is extremely important because we got to hit on this one. So, and we may not take one of these guys because obviously we know we got the draft coming up and there's some damn good guys in the draft that we may either move up to get or maybe even take one later on. But there are some free agent guys out there that we do have a possibility of getting. And so we will start with Kirk Cousins, man. Your guy up there in Minnesota, 36 years old, projected around $40 million is what I've been seeing. And you can tell me if I'm wrong. And I did see that the Vikings said today that they were not down with like giving him a fully guaranteed deal. And that's kind of, I guess, what he wanted. But then recently he also said that God has blessed me financially beyond my wildest dreams. So at this stage of my career, the dollar is really not what it's about. So his wife's from Alpharetta, they're maybe that, I don't know, has something to do with it. What say you about Kirk Cousins as a possibility here? Pros, cons, the man was having a career year before he got his Achilles injured. So,
and a ton of metrics. Like he was tops in the NFL in EPA per play, freaking adjusted EPA, all these different metrics, CPOE, which is completion percentage over expected. He was doing his thing, and he was essentially top 10 in pretty much everything before he got hurt. And what really stinks was that the last two games before he got hurt, against the 49ers and against the Packers, you kind of saw what this offense could be. The defense was starting to kind of blossom into what it was going to be, which it kind of came into fruition as a whole during the stretch without him before the bye week. But unfortunately, once he went out, I mean, they couldn't really take advantage of it. But to keep it on Kirk, man, the pros is you get, I think what Stephen Ruiz from the Ringer called him, the ultimate system quarterback. If
Mhm.
you have a good system, he will run it to its to what it's supposed to look like. The con is no more, no less. That is what you get. You get what the system allows. Essentially it's essentially what is drawn up on paper, that's what you get. And usually that's pretty good, especially when you have guys like Bijan, when you have guys like Drake London, when you have guys like Kyle Pitts, who all I just no, I don't. I'm not gonna say I don't care who's throwing the ball, but within a Zach Robinson offense, like I always call it a pseudo McVay offense. I'm pretty sure it's going to be electric. It should
Exactly.
be at least.
Mhm.
But um, yeah, no, with Kirk, he will get the most out of your offense. But he will be limited because it is going to be into the constraints of your offense.
Yeah, exactly. So there's not a whole lot of off script going on. Not
Nah,
that you but like I said, not like you necessarily need it with the guys that we have, in this
right.
offense, and that's a plus for sure. And you mentioned like his numbers, yeah, he was at almost 70% completion percentage, 18 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 103.8 rating. I mean, just he
I mean,
was
but I mean,
balling,
he
but
was playing like lights out. You got to think about this, man. He took on the 49ers defense without Justin Jefferson and torched them.
sure did.
Like he like it was crazy to watch on Monday night because that was supposed to be the time where it was like, okay, this is a fire sale,
Hmm.
let's start seeing what we can get for these guys before the trade deadline. And it's like everything just kind of flipped on its head after that. Like, oh, these guys might actually be something, So
Yeah, yeah.
it just kind of sucks that he had that Achilles injury, which is another big thing because I popped two. I popped both of my Achilles.
Mm,
That thing has turned me into a golfer now. I am,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
That takes out all the explosion, which I mean, don't get me wrong, Kirk isn't known for being the most
yeah,
explosive quarterback,
right.
but you can't tell me that that's not something that is in the back of your head at times. I mean, he's a professional, so it might not be. I'm not. I'm just somebody that hoops every now and again. But
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. It's definitely something to think about.
No, I agree. I agree. I mean,
Mhm,
that's when we've talked about it on the show before, and folks have brought that up. It's like, if we decide to go that way, like I'm not
mhm.
super worried about it because, like you said, he's not relying on being explosive or running
No.
out of the pocket or whatever. Now he will have to. Now, still a game, so he's still going. If he has to react to what's around him, so he may have to.
Mhm,
He may have to go, and you don't see typically you don't see an Achilles tear twice in the same leg, typically, unless like if y'all are Braves fans, y'all know Mike Soroka did it, a couple of times,
nope.
and you don't want that. It's pretty rare, but like, it can happen. But it's,
Mhm,
with him and no diss to Kirk not being the most explosive guy anyway. So like,
correct.
you'd like to think that, that wouldn't be an issue. But in this scenario too, for me, I think if you go get Kirk, I think he wants that security of knowing like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm 100% going to start for these 2 or 3 years or however long it's
Yeah.
going to be. So if that's the case, that probably takes us out of a first round quarterback, and or takes us out of getting one of those top three guys, and now we may draft a
Yes.
guy down the road, fourth, fifth round. Who knows? Let him, maybe even Desmond sticks around and develops underneath him. We don't know that. We'll maybe
Right.
mention him at the end. But I mean, that takes everything possibly all those top draft picks off the board, at that point, because he's not coming here with, hey, we're going to draft Jaden Daniels, we're going to sign you to a 3 year with the out after 2 years. I don't think he's going for that. you know.
No, I
So
think he wants the security of knowing that somebody wants Kirk Cousins,
exactly.
and I think he wants to win. I think he understands that he has his window is now. Like
Hmm.
he understands that he's getting to the twilight of his career pretty soon, and that if you're going to commit to me, you're going to commit to me, and we are going to go as far as I take you.
Yeah.
And that is a tough thing to say out to anybody outside of the state of Minnesota because it you don't know what you're gonna get. Like, are we going to get this same quarterback that torched the 49ers and the and the Eagles? You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Are we gonna get this same quarterback, or are you going to be the guy that, folded a bit under pressure when, when the lights come on? Like, you
Hmm.
don't know what Kirk Cousins you're gonna get from game to game, and that is a terrifying thing to put fully guaranteed money down on, especially when it's upwards of 30 something to $40 million. Like
Yeah.
that money's just gone.
Yep. And that's the only thing that kind of that worries me about that deal is if we do it is, Raheem and Terry and the guys, they could look around and say, you know what, like that defense was ready to win last year,
Mm,
and this we're going to add pieces to it, and now we've got these playmakers on offense. We're going to add pieces to that. So yeah, we might be that guy away. Do we take advantage of it and go get him and win now? And that's what scares me a little bit. Because I
yeah.
mean, now if you do it, I'm down because hey, like hey, let's go fucking win.
Yeah,
You want
it's
if
yeah, it's
you're
an
if you're gonna
it's an aggressive move.
yeah,
You show me that
right,
you do want to win now, and that that you have a direction. Your direction
right,
is we're winning. We're winning in 2024. The window starts now, and it ends whenever Kirk is gone.
exactly,
That's what that means. And
yeah.
so, if you're going to do that, then you have to commit to that, and that is just a terrifying prospect for me.
Terrifying. Me too. I mean, like I said, I would be all like, how we are, man. I mean, we're gonna support
100%.
regardless. We're gonna support regardless. But like, I would just be like, all right. I mean, if you have the opportunity this year to get one of these three quarterbacks, to me, like that's how you're gonna, you set yourself up down the road. And if you have the opportunity to do that, if you don't, then we'll talk about other options. But I
The
mean,
mhm. The
yeah,
only
go
reason
ahead.
why I'm so okay with it still, regardless of I mean, I won't say regardless of the number because the number is astronomical.
Right,
But the reason why I'm so okay with it is because of the state of the NFC South. We're
right,
looking around at guys. I mean, the Saints refuse to just hit that reset button, so they're going to be middle of the pack for who knows how long, if not in the lower parts of the pack.
right.
The Panthers are just, I
Complete
mean, I
shit
don't want
show,
to say
burning
negligible
everything.
because I mean I'm up here in Carolina, I got to live up here. But I,
It's damn
I mean,
close, man.
it's to the point to where you're not you see them on the schedule and I'm not saying it's a dub, but I'm just like, oh well, okay,
Yeah,
you know. And so the only threat really is Tampa Bay, and you just saw today about Mike Evans. We don't
sure did.
know what's going on with him, and if Mike Evans leaves, that's
Yeah,
a big loss, man. I
yeah.
mean, that's that's a that's a guaranteed 1,000 yards that you just gone. That's just gone
Mhm.
that you have to make up now.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. That's why I think I know we're not talking about the draft at all, but that's why I think the draft is the way to go in
Mhm.
this. And I feel like they know that too. But these veteran quarterback options are good backup plans. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, you and I know we've talked about it before, man. We've talked about it, and we've talked on the show. I mean, it's you can have all the traits in the world as a college QB, and it just
Yep.
doesn't work. It just doesn't
Yep.
translate, and it's like, when that's what to me that's what's enticing for the Falcons to look at. Okay, we know what Kirk is. We know what some of these other guys that
Right.
we're going to talk about. We know what they are. We've seen them do
Right.
this against NFL caliber players. We don't know what
Right.
Jaden's going to do. We don't know what Jade's going to do. We don't know what I don't think we could get Caleb anyway. But we don't know what those guys are going to do when they're thrown into
Correct.
the fire. And it's like Desmond Ritter, I thought was a good processor in college.
Could have sworn. I mean, that we I was just talking about this today. Like he had some fumbling issues, but as far as throwing interceptions or, r- missed reads or anything like that, I don't remember seeing too much of that on his
Me
Cincinnati
either.
tape.
Me
Like
either.
I remember like maybe his ball placement needed work, especially against
Right.
Alabama,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I don't remember him, yeah, like you said, his processing was fine.
Yeah, that wasn't an issue. That wasn't anything I was worried about. Then all of a sudden, look, you're not facing guys that are going to be accountants next year or going to, I mean, like you're facing the
Mhm.
best of the best now. So, and and the guys are scheming for you every week. They don't have homework to do next week. That's all they're doing is scheming for you and what you do
That's their homework.
best. That's your homework.
You are their
So,
homework. Yeah.
exactly. So, and that's the one thing that but like I said, I can live with that if you say, okay, Jaden Daniels, we love him because we love him for these reasons, and he's
Mhm.
just not the guy. All right, but I can understand why you went for him. I understand what that's, so I'd be okay with that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
But
yeah, 100%.
and lastly on Kirk, and we'll move on. That one thing too, if you spend that kind of money, you do kind of, maybe you can't upgrade a few other positions because clearly that's a lot of
Yeah,
money, and I mean, and you're going to have to. It's not the only hole we have. Clearly,
right.
we got one receiver on the roster right now. We've got some edges we got to figure out. And which, by the way,
Right.
I did an Edge show last week. Y'all go watch the Edge show if y'all haven't watched
Please
it
go
already.
watch it. Did his
Um,
thing.
yeah, that's right. So now, as you mentioned NFC South, let's go on to the next guy. Were you done on the Kirk? Anything else you want to add? Are we good?
Nah, I'm good, man.
All right.
Just if you go that route, that's a hell of a commitment to make.
Yes, agreed. All right. NFC South, Baker Mayfield, 28 years old. Spotrac looking at $27.1 million.
Mhm.
I don't know, that's what you saw, yeah. And over the cap said even up to 32, maybe even depending on if there starts being close to the 40 range is what I've also read, which would be insane to me. Um, the deal I saw was a possible 4-year, $108 million deal. Is what I saw on the table,
Uh-huh.
or that could be, spread out there. So looks like he has mutual interest to rejoin the Bucks, but obviously at a higher rate. And with Mike, like we just mentioned, Mike Evans possible, probably not. Because the report Savion was talking about is they're far away, like they're not even remotely close to
Far away.
signing a deal. So if he's gone, that was his best target last year by far. So Dave Canales, offensive coordinator, now head coach of the Panthers. So there's going to be a
Still
change. It's still weird, right? That was a weird.
still
Anyway,
weird.
well, yeah, I don't want to get off on that, but anyway,
Mhm.
um, the and I've never, like, I've always not, I'm not diss Baker, but like Baker's just been that guy. It's like I like to root for him because he's so damn confident in
Yeah.
himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's got. I mean, he he's going to give you 100%. Like if he may make some bonehead mistakes or whatever, but he's going to
Yes.
give it everything he has got on the field. Um, and he had his career year last year. I mean, like had a hell of a year for the Bucks, man. You're looking at 64% completion percentage, over 4,000
Mhm.
yards, 28 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, a rating of 94.6. He had
Mhm.
163 rushing yards. And, that was in 17 games. So it's like, and he worked with Zach Robinson for what, 4 games at LA. He's
Yep.
familiar with Zach. He's familiar with Raheem. Zach got him ready to go like overnight, and he came out
Came
and
in
ball.
came in that same week and won a football game against I don't want to say the Colts. I don't think it's the Colts, but I can't remember who it
I don't
was.
remember neither, but yeah,
But yeah, he came in off the plane, got the playbook, and won a football game. So it's not like Baker Mayfield isn't capable of good quarterback play,
yeah,
especially when he has the weapons around him. Like he had a nice little arsenal with him. You know what I'm saying?
did.
Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. Um,
Rashad White
God,
make a
who's
little
the running back?
coming
Thank
out
you,
party.
Rashad
Yeah.
White. Rashad
Mhm,
White finally, did what Rashad White we thought we were gonna see from him.
mhm.
I mean, he looked decent, and I think what you saw last year is the ceiling of
Right.
Baker
I
Mayfield,
agree. I agree.
and he did that on a what is that? So $4 million contract.
Mhm.
So I
Bet on
mean,
himself.
he's looking to get paid like a bridge. At least I hope so.
Right.
I don't think that Baker is a guy that you can say, yeah, he's 28, but let's see what he can do with 2 or 3 years under. No, Baker is here to get you to whoever your next quarterback is. And I think with Baker, you still draft a quarterback, which is why I'm not out on him. But at the same time, are we paying what if I'm thinking 27, 28 million dollars for Baker Mayfield for a year?
Oh,
Like
seems like a lot.
it feels like a lot of
It really feels
money
like a lot.
to pay, which he's earned. I mean,
No,
I
yeah,
can't.
all credit to him. Yeah,
He's earned his keep with his with this 1 year. I mean,
that's the thing. It's the 1 year. You know what I mean? It's like, and it's
1 year.
it's you talk about, and what you said too. The weapons is so important because people put so much shit on the quarterback sometime, and
A ton.
it's not just quarterbacks. Like it's and that's why we'll talk about later. But the
Mhm.
when you yeah, you what you said, you gave him a good offensive line, you got him a good running
Yep.
back, you gave him good
Yep.
weapons. Look what
Yep.
happened. He never had those kind of things in Cleveland. Even with the few games at the Rams, like he was working with pieces he'd never
Sure
worked
didn't
with
have it in
before.
Carolina.
Sure as hell did not.
Sure didn't have it in
So
Carolina.
I mean, then he's able to show. So yeah, you think that he could just continue that on here with the Falcons with a good offensive line, two great running backs, some good receiving options. Like you don't wouldn't imagine there would be that kind of drop off. But like you said, it's probably a ceiling because I can't. When you're 28, and you've been in the league this long, you're not going to just make leaps and bounds. But he basically
Not
showed.
everybody is Geno.
Not right, and I think he showed you what he can be this last year, and that's fine. Like he can be a damn good quarterback that can take you to the playoffs, and
Mhm.
they could have won that game up in Detroit. They were in that game, so
And if that's what you want, you want to get your team to the playoffs to let them to give them a confidence boost or whatever.
sure.
Let them know that you can, especially with a young team like the Falcons,
Mhm,
just getting into the dance because right now I think there's a lot of negativity right now.
mhm,
I mean not right now because all the optimism of the new regime here, but
mhm.
before Raheem Morris got here, I want to say there was a lot of negativity surrounding the locker room, especially with,
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying, with how things were going. To have a guy like Baker Mayfield who you look at him and he's like, it doesn't matter how things are going. He's confident.
yep.
I I don't know. I think that helped galvanize that Buccaneers team to get to the playoffs
Oh, no doubt.
because you remember this time last year. Remember last year before what's it called? The season started. The Bucks were not supposed to be anywhere near the top.
Dude, we were calling them. We were like, we were literally laughing when we got to like, oh, we're the Bucks. They're gonna be the bottom of the damn division. Like we don't care about the
I
Bucks.
could have.
I
I
had to apologize.
remember.
I had to
I remember.
apologize on air. I was like, "I'm sorry, Bucks. I'm sorry, Baker Mayfield." Like, I completely just yeah.
Man, woke up for 17 games and felt dangerous. I mean, it was crazy.
Sure did, man.
It's
You
crazy.
sure did.
And now he's going to get paid for it. And the question is, do the Falcons do it?
Yeah.
That part, unless your plan is to get somebody like JJ McCarthy
Mhm.
to come in and just be seasoned behind Zach Robinson for a while, for a season. I don't see how this is a viable option. I just don't.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I also can't really see. Granted, I mean, they wouldn't have any control over it, but I wouldn't think Tampa Bay would want him to just to walk and then go straight to the Falcons,
And
and
go
then
straight to the because that's the last thing you want is a revenge filled Baker Mayfield.
exactly. Yeah.
I mean that dude is freaking pumped enough. That's the last thing you want to give him is a reason to be even
Yep.
more fired up.
Yep. Exactly. All right, so we'll move on. Those are the two. Those are probably the two most expensive guys, other than a few that
Yeah,
guys we'll talk about at the end of the show. So now we're hitting this little mid-level, I guess, guys here that
the
let's just
fun
say this.
part.
Let's just say this. Everybody we're going to talk about now are without a doubt bridges. They aren't guys that are going to be. You're not going to say this can be our guy for the next 3 or 4 years. These guys are basically all guys we would take and definitely drafting a quarterback without a doubt.
And they know their role.
And they would know their role absolutely coming, and they would absolutely know it. So the first guy, Jacoby Brissett, 31 years old. looking at $7.5 million a year at
Yep.
over the cap. Last year he only played in 3 games. As y'all know, he's been pretty much a backup for the majority of his career. And obviously he started. Shoot, what did he? Was he start? What was it year? 2019. He started. No, it's
Mm-hmm.
22. He started 16 games. Played in 16 games, but
Why am I not
I
seeing
mean,
percent? There he is.
yeah. I mean, I think his best year was so 2019, 88% of the snaps he played. And I think was that the Colts? Was that the Colts or the Browns? What year was that?
For
2019.
2019, Jacoby Brissett was in standby.
That's cool. But yeah,
Mhm.
2,942 yards, 18 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Had a quarterback rating at 88. So yeah, probably like that's. And I honestly I like Jacoby. Like he was with Washington last year, didn't get in there much because of Sam Howell. And I've read that Washington wouldn't mind bringing him back.
Mhm.
But I think Jacoby would rather have he believes he's a starter, and I think a lot of people around the league thinks he can be a viable starter. Not necessarily a guy that can top of the line type of dude, but he has
Yeah.
all the traits. Smart kid. He can run. He can throw. He's not and he would fit this system. So like, I'm not completely out on him as a bridge, but I mean, what say you?
2019, he was with Indianapolis. He went seven
There
and
we
eight.
go. There we go. Yeah.
Um, with Jacoby Brissett, I feel like Jacoby Brissett is one of my favorite targets for this experiment that we're trying to do here.
Yeah.
With bridging into whoever the next quarterback is going to be,
Hmm.
because Jacoby Brissett understands kind of where he is right now. He understands that, listen, he's going to be what, 32 next year,
Yep.
and it's not like, okay, I'm just looking for a paycheck. He does want to compete,
He does.
but giving Jacoby Brissett a year with these weapons, I feel like you're getting. And tell me, and tell me if I'm just being, if I'm just being a dick here. Uh, you're getting 80%, 85% of Baker Mayfield for much less.
Does. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like you're getting a you're making more on your investment if you bring in Brissett, because you bring in Brissett, he just had a cap hit of 8.5 mil.
Hmm.
You bring in Brissett for this year, he's what, to secure services, you go up to maybe 12
Yeah.
for a
Maybe.
year.
Maybe.
You
Yeah.
go up to 12, 10 to 12.
Hmm.
And so you do that, you have a guy like McCarthy, like Penix, that brings the Michael Penix thing into here, or the Michael Penix conversation in.
Hmm.
You have these guys that you can kind of, and I know people are going to be like, well, you just paid 7 million for Taylor Heineke. Why would you? Because we know Brissett is better than Taylor Heineke. We know
Yeah.
what Brissett is. We know what we're getting with Brissett. But I think if you try to make a playoff run with him, have that guy just waiting in the wings. I don't. I'm not saying it's a great option. I'm just saying
Hmm.
it's a pretty good one. It's one that I would do before the Baker Mayfield option, because
I would
again,
too.
that's $25
Yeah.
million dollars.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it seems like a very viable option.
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah. And I mean, we're- the Commanders, from everything I've read, they're likely going to stick with Hal. They may draft. I mean, they're in that position where they can draft a guy,
I really hope they draft somebody.
but if they don't, hey, I mean, I'm good
You
with
know what I'm saying? If they
it.
don't, I mean,
Yeah, exactly,
that's
exactly.
on you.
Yep. But yeah, so who knows? But next guy up, Gardner Minshew, will be 28 years old, just coming off 1 year, $3.5 million. So he's looking to get a little bit of a raise. He did well. He did well. He had to come in, fill in for Anthony Richardson, as we all know, because Anthony got hurt.
Yeah.
Now the Colts would love to keep him because he's an ideal kind of backup guy, especially with Shane Steichen. He knows the offense. Was there in Philly, went there in Indianapolis. He knows it, ran it well.
Yep.
And again, he's not the type of guy that's going to give you, I mean, amazing. He's freaking Gardner Minshew, man. He's Uncle Rico. It's like that's
Yeah,
you
he's
know
Uncle
what you're gonna
Rico,
get,
baby.
man. So it's like he'd be fun. It'd be fun. He's probably gonna
Oh
win
my
you some
gosh.
games, and he's gonna have like I said, Indianapolis had some good weapons now. They weren't just like devoid of talent. They had some
Michael
good guys he
Pittman,
was throwing
Jonathan
to.
Taylor. Yeah,
Exactly.
these were
So
guys. Yeah.
yeah, and again, a guy that you're looking at for 1, maybe 2 years tops, bridge you right into whatever guy we take, and uh, so yeah, I'm not opposed to Gardner either if you're going to go even a cheaper route.
So with Gardner Minshew, I'm sorry. If you get Gardner Minshew into Atlanta, I'm 100% for it, just off vibes alone. I mean, if you wanna have a party for a couple seasons and, you know, I feel like Gardner Minshew can get you into the playoffs
Yeah,
in this NFC South.
yeah.
You
If
know what
you
I'm
want to
saying?
look at that, yeah, I mean, he was look 62% completion percentage last year, 3,305 yards, 15 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 84.6 rating. And that was playing in 16 games. So
You
I
know,
mean,
like and I feel like he's the thing with Gardner is he is just what is the word I'm looking for? Because there's a lot of ways to describe him.
it's right. It's tough to like just peg him on like. I mean, Uncle
Because
Rico is the best way to put it. I don't even
I
know.
think Uncle Rico might just be the best way to put it because he's electric and he's electric in every way. Sometimes the wrong way.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what, it's like,
And so
and I've watched several Colts games, and I've read some stuff from and listened to some of their
yeah,
podcasts too, and it's like they when he does some of that magic stuff, they're just like, oh, this is but then like he'll just make the most boneheaded ass
yeah,
throw that you've ever seen or decision,
yeah.
and it's like, oh, okay, there, yeah, that's why we can't, that's
There's
why you're not,
Gardner.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So,
yeah.
there's going to be that with him as well, but as far as like him or Jacoby, like mentoring a guy, having him being in the room, I think that'd be great. Because I mean, you look at the guys we haven't even talked about, and I mean the guys that the Falcons added to the offensive room and the QB room. But I mean, like
Hmm.
whoever comes in is going to be set up extremely well for success, whatever rookie it is, with
Right.
all the guys they've got in there. Um, so yeah, I mean, who knows, man? Like I said, I would be on board if that's what they want to do. That'd definitely be fun if nothing else.
I'm
So
100% with it. I mean, Gardner, and granted, Gardner played a little bit of a, little bit more of a, I don't want to say elementary type offense because that's not what Shane Steichen ran. It was more of an
right,
RPO type offense,
right.
but it was more like for his skill set. And so you see him coming from Washington State, coming from that Mike Leach tree, essentially that air raid RP to the pirate. Um,
Hmm.
you
Oh yeah.
know, and I can just see him looking at Kyle Pitts up the seam and just
Right.
launching it downfield because it's like, why not?
What the hell? Why not?
The
Yep.
hell, he's double covered, but one of them's a linebacker, one of them's a safety. I have
Yep.
Kyle Pitts.
Yep.
F it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so,
100%.
it would be fun. You're probably not going too far with Gardner
No.
Minshew,
No, you're not. No. Like I
but
said, yeah. There might be
yeah,
even a case where like your rookie first rounder starting at week 12. You know what I mean? Like, it could be like, all right,
that's
Gardner,
very
we
possible,
appreciate
and
you, brother, but we're going
that's the reason why Gardner Minshew was one of those where it's like, huh, yeah, okay,
yeah, 5
all
million
right,
bucks. All right, you know what? It was worth it. We got 12 weeks out of you, whatever. I mean, but all right. So these
yeah,
next group of guys probably are tier below Jacoby and Gardner. Yeah. Who you want to start with?
yes.
We'll leave it to you. Who you want to go to next?
I guess I got to look up at the board here. I guess we can start with Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, we'll just spend a few minutes on each one of these guys because this is
I don't,
like
yeah,
this
I
is
don't
like
see it
yeah, like there's a few of these guys are just going to be like they're available, so we're talking about them. And also, look, there's some guys we intentionally left out of this video because
intentionally.
neither neither I nor Saivion want to even think of it happening. So if you don't see him in here, we don't want no part of it.
Yep,
Period. And these are just guys that are included because they
they're here.
from a fit standpoint and from a cost standpoint, that it's a slim but still a possibility if you want to go that way. So say it that
Yeah,
way. Yeah. Okay. All right. Tyler Huntley, buddy. After
yeah,
you.
Tyler Huntley, former Pro Bowler Tyler Huntley. Please remember that.
Of course. Yeah.
Um, yes. Carved us up, kind of, sort of, in 2022. I mean, he's a boy, Tyler Huntley. I mean, he played in an offense that was more conducive to him running the football. So,
Yeah.
you know, you're not really sure what you're getting from him down the field. He seems to have a good arm on him that can make the throws necessary. And I mean, in a I keep calling it there's a pseudo McVay offense. I'm pretty sure he can drive it down the field enough to where you have to respect the deep ball.
Hmm.
But he's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the most snaps he's played in his 4 years has been 30% of the snaps on offense.
Hmm.
And so you're not getting a guy that's incredibly experienced as far as playing time goes. So, and I think we had somebody on our show a few weeks ago brought it up and was like, "Hey, well, don't you bring him in and compete for with a rookie or something like that?" And this is my feelings on that. Just in general, like, and this is how this works in training camps and stuff like that. You don't necessarily want a competition, and
No,
like this is
if a
what
competition is happening, something's wrong.
correct. And this is what I was saying last year with Desmond. People that got pissed off about Desmond not getting, well, he should have been in competition. No, because the way it goes is the ones, if you're the number one quarterback, you're getting all the snaps with the one, right?
Yep.
So if there's a competition, then you are splitting those snaps with the one. So like each quarterback's going to have those. So you're actually taking snaps away from whoever your number one's going to be. So if there's not a clear cut guy in their eyes, like you said, number one, we got a problem. But number two, they're not going to be as ready as they would be by working with the ones the entire time.
Right.
So that's my only, like, I don't want, especially like in this situation, like, no, this,
where where there's so much that can honestly go wrong with
yeah,
this. Like
right.
there's it's a very volatile situation because if the quarterback is not figured out this year with all of the talent that we have on this offense, which is a byproduct of how we've drafted over the last 3 years, we have to
Mhm.
admit that.
For sure.
Um, with all the talent you have on this offense, if you come out of this year and you're still saying, "Man, we have no idea where we're going with with the quarterback position again," that puts a that puts a real sour taste in your mouth about Terry Fontenot, about the first year of Raheem Morris, about Zach Robinson, everything. The only way that you kind of come out of this happy is, okay, we overachieved for whatever, but we still have trouble at the quarterback position, which is fine. If
Hmm.
because that means that you didn't make a big splash this year, you're gonna make a big splash next year.
Yeah. And that's why, I've emphasized it several times. Folks are probably tired of hearing me say it, but like, is that's the one position you've got to get right this season. Like if this regime does nothing else, like that's one position you've got to nail down because
Yeah,
of the issues we've had since Matt. And and that's why the folks that are still saying, well, Desmond, give him the shot to
can't
come
do
back
it.
and do it. You cannot, as
You
Raheem
can't do
Morris
it.
and his staff, you cannot do that. You cannot put yourself in that position. And that's what I was saying on the last show. It's like it's not that I hate Desmond or I don't want Desmond. I think Desmond can get better in a
I think
different
Desmond
system.
can get better too. I think Desmond can be a really good backup in this league.
Same. And I think he'd be really good at better. I say really good. I think he could be better in this system. But
Yeah.
are you as a head coach, brand new head, not brand new, but yeah, you are the new coach of the team and first time offensive coordinator. Are you going to put your eggs in that basket and say, yeah, we saw some good things, but we saw some really bad things. So let's go ahead and no, you're not. Because like at the end of the
That basket
season,
just got somebody fired.
it sure did. And at the end of the season, if it doesn't go well, how do you even answer that question? Like you had these options on the table and you said, that's the guy I'm going to go with.
And there's
So
a ton of options. Like
that's the
like there,
thing.
there's more options. There's more options this offseason than last offseason.
100%. And next year's draft, guys, nothing like this year's draft when it comes to QBs, like not even
Exactly.
remotely close. So you can't say, well, let's just one more shot and then draft next year. And that's not how that's not even, they're not even remotely close. That's talent
Uh,
wise. So
I'm still on the the Shador Sanders hero arc. I'm
there you go.
100% still on that.
Hey,
But
hey, I wouldn't even hate that. I wouldn't even hate that. That'd be fun, man. We'd be excited. We'd be dancing on the sidelines. It'd be great.
high
But anyway,
stepping, yeah.
yeah, man. So, all right. So we'll move on from Tyler again.
All
Not
right.
nothing either one of us really wants, but
Nope.
and we'll mention Jake Browning. Jake Browning, 28 years old, came in for Joe Burrow this year. Had a really hell of a good year.
Did pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. As far as for coming in like he did, yeah. Like I said, now here's the deal with Jake Browning, guys. So people have been saying a lot about, oh, let's look at Jake. Well, you just can't, because the thing is, he's an exclusive rights free agent. So what that means is, essentially, all the Bengals have to do is extend him a qualifying offer, and if they do that, no other team can negotiate. No team can offer him, whether he has to basically sign for a free agent minimum of $915,000.
And
So
if you're the Bengals, why wouldn't you
why
do
would you
that?
not do that? You
Like,
have the cheap. Well, talk about the value for what you're getting. I mean, probably the. I mean, come on.
there's
A
no way that he's hitting that he's touching the market. Not after what I just saw from last season.
Not a chance.
My quarterback went out and you still had us competitive towards the back end of
Yep.
the season. You're playing well in December and January. Yeah.
And it's going to cost me less than $1 million to keep you around. All right,
Yeah. You're
that's
staying
what we're
right
doing.
here, buddy.
100%. So no Jake Browning, guys. So if y'all are thinking that's an
Sorry,
option,
guys.
it's not. Yep. So on to the next guy we don't want, Carson Wentz. Uh, this is why it's an option. He again was at LA for a minute with Zach Robinson, with Raheem. Uh,
Had a cup of coffee.
sure did. Yep. He could return to the Rams if he's able, if he wants to accept the backup role. Nobody really knows if that's. I was trying to find some information. Like, there's not really a ton out there about, like, does he really want to start? Does he still have that fire to go in it? I mean, like, I don't know. It's like, I saw 1.7 to $2 million. You're talking about cheap as hell. If you were talking about like the ultimate
Yeah.
reclamation project, like bringing him back up from the depths. I mean, like that's it. You know what I mean? But
I mean, that's the
you
number 2 overall pick right there.
it is. It is. You're talking, and like, obviously we know he had his issues, further down with the Eagles, and then you got to the Colts, and then stuff was coming out about how, he was just a terrible teammate, he was a dick,
Yeah.
like all of these things. So you wonder, like, okay, has he matured though? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, that can happen with guys, throughout the years, and you get kicked in the balls, and all of a sudden you realize, like, damn,
A ton.
you know,
Yeah.
yeah, like, I need to not be such an asshole, and and so possibly, I mean, like, I'm not gonna go through the guy's career. I mean, like I said, he's only played in 2 games last year. He threw 24 passes. You know what I mean? Like, his previous year, again, he 276 through passes. So, I mean, his playing time's definitely been cut down a lot since
Mhm.
2021, where he played 98% of the snaps. If you want to look at that season, though, it wasn't terrible. I mean, it was 62% completion percentage, over 3,500 yards, 27 touchdowns to 7 INTs, which is not bad at all.
Mhm.
Um, but I don't know. I'm mostly out on that. But what say you?
There's nothing really that, like you said, it would be a reclamation project. You're
Yeah,
essentially you're Zach Robinson will be banking on the fact that this guy already knows the verbiage and stuff, and so he can come in and just run the offense like it needs to be run. But at the same time, will he run the offense like it needs to be run? Like, can you really trust
yeah,
Carson Wentz at age 33, or age 32, excuse me, to do that? I don't know. Um,
yeah. I'm saying, yeah, and you have to basically trust in them that he's going to fit that locker room. He's not going to come in, and because
oh,
that's a huge thing. That's a huge
and
thing.
I
And
don't know
we've
if he is.
I know, and we've got a really good thing in the locker room right now. So even with the guys that we don't have, I mean, the guys we do have, it's a really good locker room. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Another guy you're familiar with, man, and so we are too in Atlanta. He's from Alpharetta, he's 29 years old, Mr. Josh Dobbs. We all know because he came in, again after 2 days or a day or 3 days and whooped our ass, which not whooped our ass, but he beat us, which is still hurts.
It might as
But
well be an ass whooping.
might as well. It was only 31-28, but damn it. Yeah.
That just can't
Um,
happen.
no, it can't. So for a Spotrac, looking around 6 to 7 million,
Yep.
possibly. And again, he played in 13 games last year, 63% completion percentage, 2,400 yards, basically 13 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Cooled off a little bit after that hot start in
Yep.
Atlanta. But he was able to operate Kevin O'Connell's offense pretty decently. But you being the Vikings guy, man, go right ahead.
So Josh Dobbs was amazing the first couple of weeks, and then it just completely sputtered towards the end, to the point to where he was a part of the first 3-0 win since what was this, 2007. Wrote an entire thing. You're on mute. I wrote an entire thing on it. It was amazing. I mean,
Did you have to watch the whole thing?
oh yeah, I watched the whole thing. Yeah.
Oh
No,
God,
I found it beautiful. I love defense.
I do
So
too. But yeah, damn,
no. I thought that was remarkable. I actually I did an entire write up on 3-0 games because of it. It was awesome.
it's funny.
Um,
Liam was looking the other day at. He was like, I don't know for what reason he was just looking at some of the past Alabama teams, and he was like,
mhm.
there was a 9-6 national championship game. I was like, dude, it was amazing.
Oh,
I
it
said
was
it was
great.
amazing.
It was so good.
I was like, dude, I
It
said
was
you.
so good.
I was like, you won't see defenses like that in college ever again. I
Ever
don't think.
again. You will
So,
never see that
no,
again.
I was
It
like, that
was
was man.
so dominant.
Yeah. Anyway,
But
sorry. Good.
yeah, the thing with Dobbs is he gives you the creativity that you actually don't get with Kirk.
Hmm.
It's just that he does not give you the stability afterwards. Like he gives you the fact that, I mean, Atlanta Falcons fans know he can move
Yeah.
out of the pocket. It's just when you can kind of condense him in there and you force him to kind of read from, like, I won't say read because the dude's genius, but
Yeah. I could
like,
design rockets. I mean,
yeah, like he's a literal rocket scientist.
exactly.
But I don't know. Every now and again, when you can get him to make mistakes. I'll say that you can get him to make mistakes in the pocket, as
Hmm.
opposed to outside of the pocket, and that was an issue because Kevin O'Connell runs that play action, and yeah, you're booting a bunch, but you know it just really fell off after a while. Like, you can only run that boot so many times before it's like, all right, we need you to win from here too.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you know, again, like I said before, this would be a guy that you bring in for a year, maybe two at the most, and then you're bridging into the next guy. Um, I wouldn't hate it, but I wouldn't love it. So
I surely wouldn't love it for us, but like, again,
you
and
could
I'm
do
trying, like,
worse. You could definitely do
you could do
worse.
worse. You could definitely do worse.
Yeah.
But I try to think about it as in, like, fits for quarterbacks that will come in.
Hmm.
Like, if you're bringing in a Michael Penix, I can't see how he doesn't work well
For
after
sure.
learning from a Joshua Dobbs,
Hmm.
especially with Zach Robinson. So think as long as you have the fit behind them, I think it'll work out fine.
Yeah, I agree. And these next two guys we'll spend about half a second on. All right.
Yep,
Drew Lock, 27 years old,
a
earned
lot of
$4
fun.
million last year. A lot of fun, man. Over the cap, same boat track, around 4 million,
Yeah.
decent chance he stays in Seattle because I think he really likes it there as a good backup option.
Hmm.
He came in, played well. He beat did he beat the Eagles
He
last
did.
year? Yeah, beat the Eagles. I know the Eagles had a kind of a down year, but I mean, like, still, they beat the freaking Eagles. But yeah, I mean, I again, it's not in the same because Gardner Minshew is about a quarterback, but the same kind of like
Correct.
fun aspect of it you may
Yep.
get from Drew, and it may be also one of those situations where Drew's not playing after week 8 or 9, and your rookie's in there. So
Right.
it's also that type of deal. But anything to add on Drew before we go to the next guy?
Oh no, you basically hit all of it.
Yeah,
He's fun. He's fun. You did not say the part about how he's saying Jeezy on the sideline. That would be
it
huge
did
here in
seem
Atlanta.
would be
It's a
massive. Yeah,
huge locker room guy in
yeah,
Atlanta. But
for sure.
besides that, yeah,
All right, and this
not
guy
really.
would make no, yeah, and this next guy, our last guy before we go on to the next final two, this would make Mike throw up in his
Yeah.
mouth and maybe even change teams. I'm not even sure because Mike, I don't know, Mike just can't stand this guy because he beat us before and he thinks he's the worst quarterback he's ever seen in his life. The man has earned $54 million in his career, which is in
$54
fucking
million
insane.
dollars.
Sam Darnold's 26 years old. And It's, How is that possible? Like, I saw that when I was researching these guys. I was like, this mother has earned $54 million. All right.
His
Uh,
arm, he's a flamethrower,
he
man. He's a
is.
flamethrower.
He's got,
It's
yeah, obviously. It's
just about
just,
who the recipient is. That's the problem. The problem is the recipient could be anybody. Um, nah, Sam Darnold, absolutely, absolutely not. Like, I wanted to see the experiment last year in
yeah,
Los Angeles,
right.
and I feel like we got a little taste of it, and I was like, this is not good. This does not
Well,
taste good.
I thought he would be really good in like Shanahan's offense. You know what I mean?
That's
Like
what
I
I'm
thought,
saying.
like yeah, like I thought he'd be like, man, this dude might actually be a really good fit. And then he gets beat out by Brock Purdy. So and no diss to Brock Purdy, but he wasn't the second pick in the draft. So I mean,
Also got beat out by Trey Lance too, would he
by
not?
Trey Lance as well before he
Yeah,
got
because it
cut.
was
Yeah,
yeah. I think it was Purdy, Lance, and then Darnold, I guess, and then Darnold, either Darnold did something or they were like, look, we got to do something about this Lance thing.
yeah,
I
exactly,
can't remember. And this is a big tangent. I really can't believe that we have just stopped talking about the whole Trey Lance thing. That was
dude. I've
by
said
far
it so
the
many
worst
times.
trade that has happened. Like the worst draft trade, and we just don't talk about it because they're in the Super Bowl.
I've
I
said it so many times. Who Brock Purdy saved Shanahan's job.
Oh my God,
Like he should have sent him something in the mail for the rest of his life because like
a
he's the
hundred
reason he still
percent.
has a head coaching job.
It it
I
it sh-
mean,
it should be like when a president leaves office, just that $400,000 every year,
every year,
every
same
single
way.
year.
Yep. You can expect it. Like that's my you kept me employed
That's
every
Thank you
year.
so much.
Yep. 100%. Yeah. Cause I mean that's so out of left field. Like that's not even like when does that happen?
Nobody
The last pick
nobody
in the draft?
nobody talks about it. That's what's getting me. Nobody talks about it, and and it upsets me because it's like I think it upsets me more because I kind of wanted Trey Lance here.
Hmm.
Like I love Kyle Pitts, but I kind of wanted to see what Trey Lance could do.
Hmm.
How he can make things shake, but uh, uh, nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about the fact that they jumped everybody to get this dude, and he didn't last.
Gave up so much. God, they
Give up
gave up so
so
much.
much.
But it's like you said, it's because they won though. Because they were winning. It's like okay, we're winning, so no big deal. You know, like we it's fine. We got Brock Purdy, but
Whatever.
crazy. But anyway, but yeah, looking at 4.5 million, and from everything I'm reading, is he's probably still gonna be a backup. Like nobody in the league really trusts the fact he can come in and start. So
Nope.
I don't see our guys giving him that type of shake either. But all right, so this is the free agent show, but like I said earlier in the show, there's a couple of guys that are not free agents, but we do have maybe an opportunity to get one of them.
Yep.
Um, so we have to talk about it. Russell Wilson, 36 years old, and so here's the deal with Russell Wilson. If y'all are not fully up on that,
Hmm.
so last year they came to Russ and said, "We need you to restructure the contract." Basically, they're trying to get him to waive or restructure the way his injury guarantee was. So essentially, on the fifth day of the new business year in March, he has to complete a physical. If he doesn't pass that physical, he gets a guaranteed $37 million. So they felt it was best that he basically not play to stay healthy enough to be able to pass that physical so they don't have to pay him that $37 million. Obviously, that pissed Russ off. Russ wasn't happy with that,
Hmm.
as he should not be. NFLPA got involved, and so he ended up playing a few more weeks. Then he got benched anyway after that for Jarrett Stidham. So now they're looking at probably cutting him. That the relationship's kind of jacked up between him and Peyton.
Hmm.
That never really was a great mix anyway. Um, so now it's like if they keep him, it'll actually cost them more than cutting them, which is going to cost them over the next couple of years $89.5 million cutting him over the next 2 years, and they will save them that $37 million they would have had to have paid out uh, if when he passes that physical in March. So he's fully expecting him to be cut before that fifth day of the new league year in March. So which would put him available. And everything the deals that I've seen floated out there was a 3 year, $36 million type of deal, which would obviously put him to the age of 39 years old. And I've seen a lot of folks on both sides of this. Mike, he loves Russell Wilson to death. And I know like, I would have been probably off of it, but he did perform really damn well last year before he was benched.
Yeah.
I mean, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He
Hmm.
still had his, and I think what got Peyton pissed off was his still kind of inability to stay within a structure type of thing.
Yes.
So that was really what got on Sean's nerves. But that's not how Russell plays. It's not how he's ever played. So, like, I don't know. I mean, he's not going to just change all of a sudden,
Yeah.
and that's how you would expect him to play here or anywhere wherever he goes.
Hmm.
But you know, to me, it's kind of not the same as a Kirk situation. I don't think he would
Hmm.
necessarily want that guarantee. I think he would, if you say here's 3 years with it out after two, you draft a guy. Okay, I can see that
Yep.
happening. I mean, their future is here in Atlanta. Sierra. I mean, I mean, there are some negatives for Russ in this whole situation too. And that would be a negative for my guy here coming
It
into
is a
town.
negative. It's a big
But
negative.
Sierra's, she is from here as well, right? And she from Atlanta. So I mean, like, um, yeah, I don't know, man. Like it's I'm kind of on the fence with Russ. Like I think,
I am 100% with you. I am a
yeah,
hundred. Like I'm completely on the fence, and the reason why is because it's not a lot of money that you're giving up for Russ, or at least like you would expect
right.
with getting a quarterback like Russ. The only problem is, like Kirk, you're committing to that, and you're committing to that Russell Wilson thing to start your regime,
Hmm.
and it just feel. Let me tell you right now, all of these veteran quarterback options, these are not ideal. These
No,
are the plan A through probably about D should be in the draft somewhere.
100%.
Plans A through D, maybe even E for a couple people should be in the draft somewhere. But if you do somehow get to plan F through whatever, I guess, I mean, he's a viable option. Like you said, um he's not going to run your offense like you think he should, but I mean, when you have guys that are good in space like Drake London, like Kyle Pitts, like Bijan Robinson, you probably get another guy in the draft at some point in time.
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, it makes sense to do it, but at the same time, it feels off.
Yeah, I think if like it'd be for me, like if I woke up one day and was like the Falcons signed Russ, I'd just be like, okay. Like I would
Exactly.
I'd have no really reaction. I'd just be like, all right,
Fine.
yeah,
Whatever. I mean, I guess that means that you're trying to go for a playoff push.
let's ride. Yeah,
Ugh. Oh God. Oh God. As soon as I hear him say something stupid like Falcons Nation, let's
oh,
fly or some stupid
let's
oh my God.
we gonna rise up.
I'm pretty oh my
That'd be it,
God.
right? That would definitely be it.
Oh, Falcons Nation, we gonna rise up.
Yep, 100%.
Oh man, I can feel the vomit.
Did you see the photo they posted this week of him? Like a glamour shot from like 1980. I was like, damn, his glamour shot's coming back. That's awesome. You see it on
No, I
Twitter?
haven't. No, I
Oh, he got
haven't. What?
long flowing hair and everything, dude. He looks like a
Wait.
yeah. You have to check that out. But yeah,
No
I
doubt.
mean, yeah, check that out. I almost tweeted or like quote tweeted, but I was like, nah, I don't be a dick. So many people's already done it. So I was like, yeah, let's leave it alone. But here I am saying it on the show, so I guess that's not really any better. But hey, what the hell? But yeah, so again, I'm not if they say that's the deal and we do it. You seeing it? I told you. That's the first thing came to mind was like, is this glamour shots? Like, are we doing glamour shots again? I'm down if we are, because glamour shots was the shit back in the day.
You better go ahead, Russ.
Dude, all it's missing, man, I can say this because I did it because I lived in the era. All it's
Yeah.
missing is like layered chains, baby. Because I got a picture of myself, bro. I think it was I'm not sure what year it was, man, but it was I had the turtleneck and I literally had 3 gold chains, buddy, and they were all layered separately. Like I was somebody that year. I don't know how many people told me I looked like John B. That year. Like I had because I wore the hair the same way. Yeah, it
You're
was.
talking about him at the All-Star game, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, man. This is what a haircut, man.
yeah. I told you, man.
What a haircut, man. This guy here, and then he's wearing the hoodie like he's a part of the team. Like
Confidence,
this is
baby,
awesome.
confidence.
This is awesome. Wow.
Oh yeah.
That's on the
All right.
internet forever.
Right. Okay. All right. All right. Our last guy. We'll close this down. We're almost at an hour, which is not bad. I figured we might be around that time with
Wow.
all the quarterbacks to talk
Oh,
about.
we
So
did good. We did good.
yeah,
I was so scared we were gonna like drone on for like 90. I was like, oh man.
yeah. I know, but it's all good. We that's our shows. That's the live show. So we keep that shit going forever. Um. All right. So Justin Fields, Kennesaw, Georgia's own, 25 years old.
Yep.
Obviously, y'all have. He's been probably the most polarizing guy talked in Atlanta for the last couple of years. That does not play for Atlanta. Um. And I'll say this, man. Like he had absolutely shit to work with in Chicago for the first couple of years. Like just no weapons. When Darnell Mooney's your best receiver, there's no running back really to just get behind. Uh, there's not your offensive line is just god awful. You're having to run for your life. And like you're running because you have to, number one. He's good at it,
Yep.
but also he had to.
Yep.
But if y'all recall when we played him, not this previous year, but in 2022, the man damn near died. I mean, he was just getting hit
He
all over the
got
field
lit up. That
so many
man,
times.
didn't he have something up with his ribs after the
His
game?
ribs, his shoulder was, like, all jacked up,
I
and, I
mean,
mean
we tore him up.
mhm, and but if you look at this year, you give him a DJ Moore who has the best year of his career,
Mm,
and you surround him with some guys, look what happens, and that's what's crazy. And that's what we said all and I'm not making excuses for him or anybody. I'm just saying in general at the quarterback position, you can't throw anybody. Look at Bryce Young. I think Bryce Young's a hell of a lot better quarterback than he is this
Bryce
year.
Young is going to be I won't say great, but it's going to be a good quarterback. It's
Yeah,
just the fact of they have to do something up there
right,
because it looks horrible for him right
right.
now.
And it's like, so you can't just throw a quarterback into any situation and say like, "Oh, well, see, he sucks." No, like what is the system he's in? Who are the people that are around him? Like all that stuff matters. It's not just the guy out there throwing the ball, making like there's just so many things that go into that. And if you look at, I mean, like I said, last year he played
Mhm.
73% of the snaps due to injury, um, 2,500 yards, just over 2,500, 16 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Had 124 rushing attempts for almost 700 yards. So you're going to get that really he is probably an elite type of rushing guy as a quarterback. And then you
Yep.
throw into a guy that he can make every throw on the field without
Yep.
a doubt. He smoked us in Chicago in the driving snow. So I didn't want to hear anybody talk about our quarterback during that game because that guy had no problem with the driving snow and cold and wind. Um, but yeah, you're looking at somebody that's entering the final year of his rookie contract. So if it is a trade that's made,
Yep.
then we pick up his fifth year, and then yeah, he's going to get paid at that point for sure. But it's not a problem if he's performing. If you, that's a good problem to have. If you bring him in and it's like, oh, okay, you got now you're going to get paid, then good. That means you've probably won some games these last couple of years. Maybe made some
Yeah.
deep drives in the playoffs or even a Super Bowl. Who knows? And I said that so I can throw in my Super Bowl cut. Um,
Yes.
so like I'm down with this, man. To be honest with you, like this is like I'll be completely down with this. And one thing, and I'll let you talk.
Mhm.
A lot of folks are like, well, why would you want the Chicago's willing to get rid of him? They're willing to trade him. It's because there's potentially a generational guy. I hate using that word, but there's potentially that guy
Yep.
that they cannot afford to pass on again, like they did when they dropped Mitch Trubisky when they could have had Patrick Mahomes. They cannot have that happen again.
Yep.
So if this is any other year and there's not a Caleb Williams or maybe even a Drake May up there, we're not talking this. We're not having this conversation. They're not there. Justin's going to play out this contract and they'll figure it out. The only reason he is being traded is because that guy's on the board. And they can take him. And of course, he's going to be cheaper over the next few years, and maybe more, maybe better, maybe more electrifying. We don't know, but that's why. So, uh, Justin Fields, buddy, go ahead.
If this was next year, we would not be having this discussion. We would
Yeah,
not be having this discussion about Justin Fields. We would be saying, all right, Justin Fields has another year. They're going to get Marvin Harrison Jr. Somebody's going to Somebody's going to try to go up and get Shador Sanders because everybody needs a quarterback. Um, but because it's this year and because you have that chance to reset with Caleb Williams or Drake May, whichever one is your fancy,
Sure.
of all players, you do that. And this regime, these guys, Ryan Poles, Matt Eberflus, they have no ties to Justin Fields.
Mm-mm.
There's no reason for Justin Fields to stay here. If anything, getting somebody like Caleb Williams is job security
100%.
for much longer than Justin Fields would get, especially if you're given a crossroads. There's nothing worse than sticking with the guy because you were too scared to pull the trigger and that guy turning out to be exactly what you thought he was going to be. And that is probably exactly why Justin Fields is even talked about to be on the market.
Yep.
And if you look at it and you look at the value that you're going to give up for him, you're giving up a second round pick probably.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a conditional fourth or a conditional third that turns into a fourth if he doesn't pan out.
Mm-hmm.
Get that and add another elite talent. I didn't say elite quarterback, elite talent around a locker room full of elite talent with a players coach like Raheem, with a offensive court, with a play caller, hopefully, because we still haven't seen Zach Robinson call plays, but
Mm-hmm.
hopefully, like Zach Robinson, with the defense that should still be good.
Yep.
For 2024, you're essentially giving Justin Fields saying, "Look, this is your shot, buddy.
Yep.
For you've been over in hell for a solid 4 years. This is your chance to shine." And I don't like the fact that people are like, "Oh, if Terry wanted Justin, they would have gotten Justin in 2021," which I am on record saying I fully believe that's what should have happened. But um, I mean, they still had Matt Ryan there,
Mm-hmm.
and apparently, if you remember in 2021, they were like, "We're not trying to rebuild, we're trying to win now."
Yep.
Yeah, they sat out there and puffed their chest out with that while they had Mike Davis. Oh, I can't even talk about him. He
Couldn't
just
even say,
retired today.
rebuild.
He just retired today. I can't say
Yeah, he
anything
did.
bad
Yeah.
about Mike Davis.
Shout out to Mike
Yeah, yeah.
Davis. That's right.
Shout out to Mike Davis. Shout out to Mike Davis. Quad King.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't see a downside to it other than maybe you just lose that second rounder this year that could have been that could have been a player, that could have been a difference maker, which is fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But you're
But
addressing the most.
you're betting on the most important position.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. You're betting on the most important position. And given the traits that he has, the fact that he does have the arm strength to make every throw, the fact that he does have the arm strength to push it vertically, that he does have that mobility to get out of the pocket as well as make a play with his legs on design runs.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see if it's a first rounder, I can't do it. If it's
Yeah,
at
me
8, I
either.
can't do it.
No, same.
But if it's 43 and something for next year, let's say a third or a fourth next year, I pull the trigger
Mm-hmm.
and you start outfitting this team as you see fit to maximize what Justin Fields does best.
Yep. And are you now? Would you still draft a guy at some point?
In this draft,
Yeah. Or would you wait a year or two?
not at 8,
No, hell no, no.
not at 8, but I could see if somebody like a Michael Pratt fell or Spencer Rattler,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. If one of those guys fell and you're like, well, I mean, I don't really like any defenders at this point in time in the draft. Let's just get another guy in here,
Mhm.
see and see what we have there. But honestly, not necessary.
Yeah, I agree.
Not in this draft.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah, and I mean, looking at and also I've read and heard folks say, well, he doesn't he's not a great fit for Zach's right, his offense, and like he's not an elite processor. And I think a lot of folks just haven't really watched a lot of his games or
Mhm.
seen a lot of him play because um, that first year, like I don't like we've already talked
There's
about what he was working with, but
oh,
it's real easy when you're a young quarterback to start seeing ghosts. And
mhm.
he was there, and I've watched quite a bit of him throughout the years, and there was a lot of that of like his time clock getting sped up because of I'm about to get smashed, and
Yeah.
making a quick decision, which was the wrong decision, or putting too much on a pass or not enough, something like that. All that stuff you could see that happening. But what you saw
Mhm.
happening in year 2 and 3 was that slowing down, and you could start seeing him actually. Okay, I can go through my progressions. I've got time to go through my progressions. Like, what the hell?
Mhm.
I don't have to run for my life. Like, and it still wasn't perfect last year. Don't get me wrong for the Bears, nor him. They all got issues,
Mhm.
like that they can work on and get better at. But
They wouldn't be on the market if they didn't.
exactly. And
Mhm.
so, I mean, to me though, when our position with our team is currently constructed, and y'all don't forget, Zach Robinson was a dual threat QB, right? I mean, like when he was a QB at
He
Oklahoma
was out
State,
there torching.
he ran a lot. So
Yeah.
like he's not opposed to working with like he wants an athletic quarterback. Don't get that twisted at all. So to me, the fit is pretty damn good, like on paper, and you surround them with the guys we got, and you're going to add to that to the offensive room. Obviously, your wide receivers, and who knows what we're going to do with tight end
And
and
then
stuff
you
like that.
have and then like you said when you started, you have the elite running ability that defenses now have to account for.
Have to,
You're bringing somebody into the box and you're taking them out
yes,
of coverage because they have to account for the fact that this guy can beat you with just his legs.
yep,
The fact that you have that, and honestly, the fact that he didn't even like really show that at Ohio State, which was crazy. But
no,
yeah,
that's a
he was a pocket passer in Ohio State. That was wild.
yeah,
But the fact that he has that, the fact that he has those traits that you have that can take away from a defense's scheme that defense has to, that a defense has
hmm
to account for. I just don't see how. I just I just don't see how the upside doesn't outweigh the cons, in my opinion.
yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you. All right, man. So we'll end it there, but I do want to say this, and I think Savion agrees with me. As we said, plan A through F, you go get your damn guy in the draft.
Go get your dude in the draft. We should not be here unless unless there's just no way that they're moving up, which is a possibility because these three
Yeah.
guys up at the top are filthy.
Yep. Yep. And uh I haven't watched enough on JJ yet to have a really solid
You're gonna have to
opinion.
watch the whole season, so just prepare
Yay.
yourself. Like
Yay.
he's got maybe 6 or 7 reps a game that you're like, oh, okay, that's JJ McCarthy.
Hmm. Okay. That's I look forward to that. And then Penix. I like Penix, but Savion, I've said on the show 100 times, man.
Yep,
Um, the left-handed guy scares me to death because Caleb McGarry
I
is
understand.
guarding his blind side,
Yes.
and so I don't think Caleb can get any better than what he already is. We know what Caleb is.
No,
Um,
Caleb's done.
yeah, so are you going to address that right tackle position as well? Because otherwise, Michael's going to be getting small, get smoked.
Mhm.
But I do like him. Though. I like what he brings to the quarterback. So, um, ideally, yeah, I'd love to see him move up, and whichever guy, if it's a Drake, great. If it's a Jaden Daniels, great. Whatever they prefer, that's fine with me. Like that's I'll be more excited about that. Again, I don't think Caleb's going to be an option. That's why I don't really even mention
I
him.
don't think
But
Caleb's gonna be an option. I think that Caleb is gonna be. I'm very like intrigued to see like if Justin Fields doesn't come to us, who else is going to get him? Like
yeah,
you hear Pittsburgh, you hear New England. I,
I
for
even saw
some
Raiders the other day. I saw
for
LA
some
do that.
reason, I was just saying that for some reason, Las Vegas
Or
is now in
Vegas,
the
yeah.
yeah, Las Vegas is somehow in
Mhm.
the chat. I don't know how that happened,
No.
but I mean, it makes sense. It makes
Yeah.
sense, kind of,
Well,
sort of, maybe.
I even read that, if you read this now, but Pittsburgh is possibly going to stand pat with Kenny Pickett and whatever they have there, which is
That's
hilarious
not
to me.
that's not good. That's not
No, no, that's. I mean, no diss to Art, but Art needs a quarterback that can legitimately play to run that offense.
good. Oh
Like,
my
I mean,
God,
like he really needs a quarterback.
he's really gonna bring Ryan Tannehill in, isn't he?
I'd have no doubts, and that's the
He's
one
gonna bring
guy,
Ryan
one of
Tannehill
the
in.
guys we did not mention on the show because there's
I
that does
refuse to believe that Ryan Tannehill will be anywhere near this offense.
He's not a fit at all. Like there's not a remote fit to this offense for what
Nope.
time Brian Tannehill brings. So it made no sense for us to even mention it. But he might fit in Pittsburgh though. But so I mean, go right ahead and try to run that deal up there. But um,
I can almost guarantee that Art pitched that at some point in time during
oh,
his.
no doubt. Yeah,
I
no
know
doubt.
he did, and and Arthur Blank was like, "Yeah, buddy, that's not happening."
Hmm. No, but just let me just pick one more guys. One more. I got
Mhm,
it. This last guy. This is gonna be it. I promise.
mhm.
Yeah, and,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, no. Sure,
um,
no, for sure, for sure, for sure. It's. Look, security's gonna rough you up on the way out.
exactly. Just for that, you're gonna get kicked in the nuts around the way out the door. Um, But yeah, no, man. And the also read, and whether it's true or not, that the Bears were hoping to do right by Justin by letting him being involved on these trade talks, potential trade talk, and being like almost necessarily
Sure.
picking. So if that's the case, great. But
That's
if
that's huge for Atlanta because
exactly, exactly
that makes perfect. That means, oh, okay, so I get to go back home.
right. If that's what the Falcons are planning to do, yes. But anywho, guys, that's all, man. We wanted to run through. We got an hour and 15. We had a little extra talk too, and not just. But I mean, hell, we got through 12 different quarterbacks. We got through some pluses and some minuses of all of them, and kind of what we thought. And so, you guys can let us know what you think, man. Drop a comment. Let us know what guy would you prefer, if you prefer any guys, or if you would prefer a rookie. And before we go to, I did put out a poll out there on Twitter to just kind of gauge what the Twitter or X verse, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Twitterverse.
Um,
We're not doing. We're not. No, it's not X. Twitter.
all right, yeah, I'm down with you.
I'm sorry.
No, 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 I'm with it. But yeah, just to see kind of what folks were looking at as far as a quarterback goes. So my options were draft the first rounder and he starts this year.
Hmm.
You get a vet and still go draft a first rounder.
Hmm.
You get a vet, go draft second or third rounder. You get a vet and don't draft a QB at all. So we
Right.
kind of talked about all those situations. 40. This is out of, let me see, uh, 868 votes. 43% said draft a first rounder and start him this year. So that was kind of surprising to me. Um, which
Huh.
I'm down with. But and I said this saving on our last show. If that's the case, and you're planning on no vet whatsoever, y'all got to expect some very highs and some very lows from whatever quarterback it
Yes.
is,
And
because
the thing with that is, I think Falcons fans would be okay with that because it would feel
we're working
like
towards
new
something.
beginnings. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
working exactly. It feels like you're hitting the reset button, sort of. And the way that they've kind of hit the reset button with drafting these guys back to back to back, you almost give yourself a chance. You almost give yourself, because you have Kyle Pitts and his option coming up pretty soon.
Hmm.
And, you know, so there's going to be that. Drake London's option is probably the one that you're going to have to worry about the
Yeah.
most,
Yeah.
because if he has another year there where he's just a dude, you know,
Got to
then
pay him like a dude. Yeah.
you have to pay him like a dude. And
Hmm.
then Bijan's, I mean, at that point, I don't think running back contracts are gonna be too much higher. I mean, unless Jameer Gibbs just looks like an absolute animal next season.
True. Yeah. Very
Um,
true.
so you kind of have a window here, like with Kyle's option, Drake's option, and then having to deal with Bijan at the end. You
Hmm.
kind of have a window where if you want to develop a guy,
You got it.
you can. You
Hmm.
can. And it's and you can be. And the thing is, with how weak the NFC South looks like it's going to be for a while, those 3 years could easily be the start of something where it's like, okay, guys want to stay here because why would you leave? We're winning.
Exactly. Exactly. And then the
So
second, yeah, I agree with you. And then the second most was vet and then draft first round, 36%.
yeah,
Which in that scenario, your vet is like your percent
Kirk.
or your
I
right.
mean, I mean, in my opinion, I think the best way to do this is to get Kirk and then bring in JJ because I think JJ McCarthy is a perfect fit in a
Hmm.
pseudo McVay offense.
Yeah.
But it's just he needs some seasoning. So you
Right.
bring in Kirk, you say you want to win for the next 2 years. All right, cool. Go do that. Go try and find what you can do, and then you reset everything with JJ McCarthy after that.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. If
That's
that's, if that's,
that's
if
yeah.
it's a good point. Yeah. If you're going with JJ, then the Kirk's are perfect. If you're going to go with, you know, say if you're still looking to move up and getting your Jaden or whatever, then you're definitely
Right.
going like your lower tier guy just for literally a year to give this guy a chance to watch, get better, whatever. And
And
then he's going to
knowing
start
and,
next
and
year.
knowing and knowing fans, they're like, yo, let's go ahead and get this guy in now. Let's go ahead and get the
Exactly.
bullets. Let's go ahead and get him in those live bullets now. And it's like,
Yeah.
we'll see.
And only 11% said to get a vet and draft second and third round, and 10% said get a vet and don't draft a QB at all. Which I guess that 10%, just like you said earlier, like you guys just want to go win right now, and to the hell with the next five to
Who
10
who
years.
needs a win? Who needs a window?
That's
Hey,
right.
who needs to develop a franchise? We
Exactly.
have the franchise right here.
Yeah, that's basically what it's going down to. So, all right, buddy. Well, dude, thank you so much for hanging out with me for an hour. Ooh, we're almost at 90 minutes anyway, but hey, hanging out with me for an hour and 20
It's
minutes
okay. It's okay.
talking these quarterbacks, man. And we got to have you back on our regular show soon as well.
Hmm.
We got plenty of time here in this off season, and so we can get back on Mike. Mike wanted to come on with this one, but Mike, like I said, he's got a little addition to the y'all are going to see just when we close this one down.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so he'll show you that. But we'll be back on Thursday night as always, guys. My goal is to have this video edited and done by 8 p.m. on Tuesday night. So that's my goal. I don't know if it's going to make that goal, but that is my goal as we sit here on a
You
Monday
got
evening.
this.
So yes,
You
that's
got
what.
this.
Yeah, dude, I'm having to relearn all this. Not relearn, learn for the first time how to do all this shit, which is not bad. It's fun, but it's time consuming as hell trying to edit everything
Yes.
and trying to put some different noises and stickers and all that kind of shit on there. But it's fun. It's fun. But anyway, guys, look, we appreciate y'all for hanging with us for an hour and 20. Again, man, put in the comments who you guys would like. If it's a vet, put down who you want, man. If it's a who you want as a rookie, that's fine too, man. We'll have more
If you want a
videos.
vet and a rookie.
Yeah, it could be both. But
Hmm.
we'll definitely have, like I said, videos on those guys as far as the draft prospects go coming out closer to the draft. Just wanted to go, attack these free agents. I'm not sure what I'm gonna hit next. I might hit maybe the secondary in general. I might hit safeties and corners next week and see who we might add to that room to finish. Not to finish it. Again. I'm gonna see how many I can get to with these done
Cough,
before free
Legarius
agency
Sneed.
starts.
Cough.
Yes, and Jordan Fuller, but yeah. So it'd be great. But yeah, man. So let's save them before we go, man. Tell everybody where they can find you again, man, and find your work.
Yes, sir. Find me down here at my Twitter. I don't know how this works. I think it's this way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
like
got it.
that.
There it
At
is.
Mixon_NFL. Work over at Vikings Wire, Blogging Dirty, and Around the Block Network. New Millennium's Falcons podcast at NM Falcons on Twitter. New Millennium Falcons on YouTube. We just did a post Super Bowl pre combine discussion. And it was a lot of fun. It was me and Fleek. Oh, we had so much fun.
Oh, that's
Um,
fantastic.
but yeah, trying to get the band back together. I think we're gonna record Thursday. We're gonna see what we can do, but it's starting to get to that time where content is going to be huge for guys like us.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, anytime y'all need us, man, you just give us a holler. We'll be there in a half second, man.
Hundred
Yeah,
percent.
to do some collabs, man, because you and Fleek, man, a couple of our favorite guys to have on the show. It's always easy. It's just like like I said, honorary members of the show pretty much for the most part.
100%.
So, yeah, man. So again, man, thank you all guys. Make sure you go follow New Millennium Falcons on Spotify. Drop them a 5-star review if you can. It helps their podcast get out there to more folks. Same thing on iTunes, man. Drop them a 5-star on iTunes. And it helps it tremendously, and it only takes half a second of y'all's time. So again, man, if you're here watching this video, man, help us out. Drop us a like, subscribe to the video. We much appreciate it, man. And we will catch y'all next week again with a secondary video from myself. Catch you live on Thursday night talking about probably this and who knows whatever the hell else comes up between now and then, because there's always something to talk about.
It's the NFL, baby.
That's always something to talk about, man. So we will catch y'all guys next week, man. Much love. Peace.
John and Saivion. I don't mean to interrupt. I hear what y'all saying. Y'all saying be responsible, get a draft pick, do the right thing for the city. I hear all that nonsense, okay? And what I'm saying is just hear me out. Just hear me out. Walk with me. Tell me this wouldn't set the city of Atlanta on fire. And it's very possible, okay? We go get Justin Fields, okay? Justin Fields is Atlanta's starting quarterback. He can do everything, right, that we need him to do, right? He can make all the throws, a mobile quarterback, okay. But then number 2, Matt Ryan is the backup. We go get Matty Ice out the booth. Oh, we go get the GOAT back. We go get the GOAT back, right? We got the GOAT at number 2. Guess who the third string is? Probably never played, but just as third string, Michael Vick. We go get all 3 of those guys can still play, so we go get Michael Vick. Justin Fields, Matt Ryan, Michael Vick. Stadium sold out, Matt Ryan is backup. Imagine Justin get hurt. Super Bowl, Matty, 2-minute drill. You want to see it. If you had a choice, which one you want to see? Justin Fields go 2 minutes and win the Super Bowl for Atlanta, or Matt Ryan? You would pick Matt Ryan. Or Mike Vick. Anything would be possible. The screen, Mike Vick could still run. I'm saying this is possible. Okay? I'm going to start a petition. Y'all know y'all want to see Matt Ryan win a ring. Y'all know y'all want to see Matty Ice go down in a 2-minute drill in the Super Bowl and win us that thing. Y'all know y'all want to see it just as bad as I do. Y'all know y'all want to see it. Just imagine Matty going down that 2-minute in the Super Bowl. A few seconds left. He throw that, touchdown. We win the Super Bowl. We take that helmet off. Point to the stands. I'm in the stands. Point directly to me for some, I don't know why. Just point directly to me and say, Mike, all this is because of you. I'm like, what? Because how? But okay. You just imagine the possibilities, man. Justin Fields, Matt Ryan, Mike Vick. 2024, baby.